Well, it sounds to me like people who have real control issues
Yeah.
would come to the surface relatively quickly.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, the people who are trying to make the effort of working together as a group instead of everybody pulling in different directions, I could see those people who have hidden agendas. They may not be doing it on purpose, but they may feel like they have to have control over everything in order for everything to run the way that it's supposed to. So I can see them not trying to be unreasonable. It's just that that's the way they probably have felt that they've had to do their job or managerial position. So can you give an example of how you've seen a diffusing of, or finally some resolution coming between people who, because I can see this being a real problem within a lot of corporations, because people have to have many skill sets now to do their job.
Yeah.
And so therefore I can see, I can really see how the Segue would be useful in many different aspects of a business. Like you tackle one issue, then you go to the next one. And there might be a close relationship between those two issues. So I can almost see that a corporation would walk away from this probably employing this like all day long.
There's a boutique hotel here in town that was losing business because they weren't handling their marketing, and the person responsible for marketing was the owner. She was involved in micromanaging. So we did a segue with them, and the question was, how can we free up more time for the owner to do marketing? And everybody knew that if the owner wasn't doing marketing, that the hotel would close, and they would be out of business, and they would be out of a job.
Sure.
So they shifted their attention from I work for her to she works for me. I am responsible for the success of this hotel, and she works for me. Now, they did a segue then on what is one thing we could do to free up more time for the owner to do marketing. And everybody was already totally loaded with their responsibilities. But in the conversation, what came out was they could shift the timing of what they did. They could shift things from this closet downstairs to that closet upstairs, buy on this day instead of that day, and trade some responsibilities. And what turned out was that everybody had an easier job, everybody's workload was lightened, and the owner was now free to do marketing. And what's happened since then is that the hotel no longer has a down season. They no longer have that off several months where they can do their maintenance. They've had to reschedule how they do their maintenance because they no longer have an off season. So that's one example. And at a later segue, when we went in and trained them, the staff came up. The staff came up with the idea that they needed cross-training. So that the housekeeper knew how to handle the front desk. It's like, whoa! When the hospitality industry is high turnover. So when someone new has come onto their staff, they've just introduced them. Yes, this is the way we do it, and we're working on these questions. These are the current questions, and this is how we do the segue. And they just do it. It's just matter of fact.
Yeah, I can see how that can happen. Because once you have a success or a win with the process, it would just be natural for you to gravitate towards using it again in every facet of your life where you could have that opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you're having these fantastic
Yeah.
results.
The knowledge of this game has been in process for about 9 years. We've been working on this for quite a long time. We've used it in a UNESCO conference. We've used it for community organizations as well as countless businesses and schools. It's any time. I mean, we've used it. I've used it on a date. People have used it to plan a family vacation. When people want to have a really good time solving a problem, changing a problem into an opportunity. Because problems are about the past. And solving the problem is about fixing this thing from the past. What the Segue does is it takes this past situation where we see the problem and it says, okay, what's the opportunity here? And so it's always forward focused. It's always forward moving.
And much more positive than negative. So,
Exactly. So people can reach us at thesegwaygame.com. Very simple. And this process, there's no limit to the size of the process of how many people can be involved in this. Right now, the focus is on face-to-face interactions. That's very powerful. When people can actually sit with someone and in their presence get that real-time feedback, the question answer. That's very important. And we also see this happening online. We want this to grow as well. Our vision is global. So we can't travel everywhere, but we can train people. We can train people in person. We can train people on the internet, because the information, the basic information, is free. And that's been the intention from when we first started working on this 9 years ago, was that these discoveries are for the public. And there is nothing as powerful and creative as the human imagination.
Right.
And when you can get multiple imaginations working together in tandem, whoa, there is nothing that group cannot accomplish. There is no environmental problem or social problem that we cannot solve. We've got the resources, we've got the intelligence to do it. But the way we've been fragmented and we are supported in staying apart, we've got our... What?
Right, yeah.
Here's an opportunity for people to come together successfully. Mm-hmm. Someone was saying recently that the reason they play online games is because they can experience success. And nobody is out there telling them they're stupid.
Yeah.
So this is a way of being successful at what is really important.
Vai vivendo, vendo a vida terminar, chorando tanto por quem nunca pôde amar. Batucada